ranking member of the full committee for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Smith, you were talking about the 2646 at the end of your statement there, and you said, I believe the word was, you said something to the extent of perhaps making it difficult for the economic viability of the industry, the current terms, and then something about supporting in concept. What reservations or concerns does the administration have that they can't wholly endorse this legislation?
I don't think that we have any reservations about the ideas behind the legislation or what it needs to achieve. We simply have not had the time to go through our process of reviewing and commenting on the legislation. I believe that even in our initial look at it, there are perhaps some suggestions that we would have for drafting, and I believe that our staffs have spoken with your staff about those suggestions. But as a basic point, we support the objective of the legislation, what the legislation is trying to achieve.
Okay, well, you have the principal author of the bill here, and myself and Mr. Huffman, and we would be happy to entertain any suggestions, but it's our hope that the committee will consider this legislation in the very near future and send it to the floor, so we need to do this on a expedited basis. I mean, some of these people are just barely hanging on, and for a lot of people, the difference in the percent of their landings, that the value that they'll have to pay doesn't sound like a lot, but to them it's a difference between whether they stay in the business or not. And it'd be a shame to drag this out and not save people this year as soon as possible. And you are and do agree that the only way forward is, in fact, a legislative fix, because we've tried numerous times and asked in previous administration and this one to look at administrative fixes, but apparently there are none. Yes, sir.
We do not believe that there are any ways that we can administratively change this law, and we need new legislation.
Okay. Now, as I understand, and I assume you're going to be reluctant to answer this, but you worked on international environmental policy in the USTR's office. I've had the pleasure of meeting with the USTR in a number of venues to express strong concerns about the TPP, and one of my many concerns about that agreement relates to the environmental section. It seems to me that we're talking here about the IUU fishing, and we seem to be all on the same page there and wanting to have the best, most comprehensive measures, whether it's port state or mid-ocean, to prevent this. Do you think that the language that has been published publicly regarding the environmental compliance section is adequate to meet those concerns about illegal fishing?
So thank you for the question, sir. I'm not really in a position to comment specifically on that, on that language that's been tabled.
Take the fifth on that one.
I will say, though, that consistently we have taken the position that trade and environment need to be mutually supportive, that our trade agreements need to have strong environmental commitments to ensure that increased trade does not undermine environmental protections, and that those strong commitments include the need to have commitments by the parties to enforce their environmental law, and we've taken the position that those commitments need to be enforceable through the trade agreement based upon the same terms as other commitments made in the trade agreement. So the same dispute resolution mechanism needs to apply. So I think that the position of the administration is that yes, strong environmental provisions are needed, and that including covering things such as IUU fishing and stopping shark finning are appropriate.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.